Yep.
Well, good afternoon. We've got the Husqvarna model, whatever it is, and whatever this is. It comes some kind of tow behind rototiller. I didn't even know they made one of these things for a lawnmower. This is a Briggs & Stratton engine. I can't remember the name of this. I got it off of Rural King, actually. No, I take that back. I got it from Lowe's. It's an Agri-fab. Agri-fab. Come around to this side, camera lady. You can see the sign for Agri-fab. 36-inch tow behind rototiller. It's a little light. It likes to hop sometimes. We've got really clay ground, so if it's not just the right moisture, you know how rototillers are, they get kind of finicky. It's got your drop raise lever right where you can get to it from your lawnmower seat. It's got a hitch that absorbs a little bit of the impact as it's trying to push you forward, and it has your clutch engage and disengage. I've found that rather than trying to tighten up the throttle piece, I just use a good old-fashioned piece of wire to hold that back, hold that in open throttle position, and then you kind of play with your adjustments to get it to run right. Anyway, I just added fresh fuel this year. I made sure I ran it out last year. I don't always do that. Then you got to mess around with stable or heat or whatever. If you can just run them out, that's better. So let's go ahead and start this thing, and then we'll bring it over to the tiny little garden patch we have. Let's see, get all the adjustments on here. I want it to choke. I want the fuel on. Let's try that. Of course, at the beginning of every season, you got to kind of relearn how to start these darn things. That's already been done because it's already pretty loose. Of course, you never know, you're running into another rock. the wire. So, well, what do you think, Kimberly?
Did a good job, especially turning up mostly clay.
Yeah, well, and again, this is what, the second year on this spot. So we worked it up pretty good last year. I think I even used a shovel maybe to turn it over. So it's, you know, it's packed just from the year. But, you know, it works it in, and if you hit a big enough rock, the shear bolts just break right off, and you just gotta throw a new one, put it in. It's nice to have those, just like, you know, any other rototiller. So, well, most of them, the bigger ones, have those, so that you don't damage the motor if you come to an abrupt stop. You might have noticed it bogging down a couple times. That's why I kept my hand on the raising and lowering lever, so I could adjust as I go. You can adjust the depth on the machine. So if you're in more predictable soil, you're in an established garden plot, level ground, not so many rocks, that sort of thing, you can just set it and forget it. The tricks on the hills, of course, is keep, you know, throttle, it's a hydrostat, but the go and the stop pedals, just working them so you're not moving too fast, because this is going to want to push you forward. So if you're going downhill especially, you're going to, you know, you want to be careful. So it's a good reason to actually go uphill, but I've got obstacles in the way on the other side. So we're going to expand this, but I figured, I think we're going to probably take it out right up to the side of the hill, and then on the side of the hill I think we'll do strawberries to hold the hill in place, and it gives a nice good tilt for the sun, and then by the time it's the hottest part of the afternoon in the summer, they won't be getting it straight on either, so that should be good for strawberries. But yeah, I mean, for this part of the country, we have heavy clay. We've got a lot of organics worked into this. My sister, she put one of these cages in the middle, and then we throw all of our produce in there, so as the nutrients seep out of that, they get into the garden. But yeah, Agri-fab, 36-inch, toe behind, and you know, it comes with a manual, all that good stuff, and good to have a couple extra of those shear bolts on hand. And then once you learn it, it's a piece of cake. I mean, we were trying for what, a half an hour to get a stupid mantis to start, because they're finicky, I guess, if you let them sit over winter with fuel in them. This, I mean, I ran the fuel out, but years past I hadn't, and it still just pops right off. Of course, that's the difference between a 4-cycle and a 2-cycle. This is a 4-cycle engine, so Briggs & Stratton, reliable, no complaints, other than it is a little light, so it tends to hop around a little bit on you. But you know, if you're in an established garden, this will handle, I mean, a lot bigger than what we're doing here. This is a little ridiculous to use this on this little patch, but we had it from when we had a larger garden. And then of course now I have a 3-point, 5-foot 3-point rototiller for the tractor. So this is basically here because I couldn't sell it for nearly what I bought it. I think I paid $1,300 or $1,500 for this brand new, which looking back, it's like, why would you do that? But if you could pick one up used, or if you're going to use it for years, I mean, we've used this for what, at least 4 at this point. You know, over time you'll get your money back. Or if you just like having a toy like this, you know, it says you can put it behind a 4-wheeler, lawnmower, whatever. I use the lawn tractor, seems to work fine. So that's all I've got. Camera lady, any thoughts, concerns that you would have about this? If you had any questions, what would you think? Putting you on the spot, aren't I?
Yeah, no, I mean, it works great for its purpose, and like he said, you know, if you had a much bigger garden, it would be more than appropriate. And if you have any kind of handicaps, this works great.
Yeah, established garden, probably up to a ½ acre or acre with this, you could get by. Some people say, oh, you need something bigger. Yeah, to each his own, right? I mean, a garden this size, you could get by with a shovel and a hole. I mean, it's no big deal. So anyway, like it if you liked it. Subscribe if you like a bunch of mixed variety, eclectic. I do a little bit of everything, and share. Have a nice day.